Hello everyone, my name is Rumat, and before I start this video I want to have a little intro to it, so let's jump right into it. I will talk in this video about 4 different types of walls. The first type is the wall you do on ganking. The second is the wall you use on objective control such as barons, dragons and towers. The third one is the wall that separates teamfights or rushes towards an enemy so you can catch him off guard. And the fourth is the wall examples when you escape, or when you are in a melee range and use your wall, or even the example where you can help your team escape an enemy team by separating them, and so on. So here we are on Summoner's Rift. This video will be quite long, I'm afraid. I'm pretty sure it will take me at least half an hour from now on, or more. I have in my face, in front of me right here, a paper with every combination that I could have possibly thought of. Like, examples are ganks, bot, blue side from river, from base, from enemy jungle, red side from river, from base, from enemy jungle, and so on. For example, I have objective control, herald, baron, red side, blue side, drake, red side, blue side, offensive for drake, offensive baron, offensive, defensive drake, defensive baron, defensive herald, and so on. Base towers, middle towers, teamfights, separating teamfights, helping your team defend the other members, or so on. Mid fight, top fights, bot lane fights, and other kinds with melee range escape, defend your team, help them escape, get faster to objective, and so on. It's quite a long list. I'll have to use this paper in front of me because I will probably get stuck in my own ideas and repeat the same thing, absolutely same thing. I'm getting stuck in my head a lot in certain conditions. Now, I'm going to start from the first thing you've seen earlier, and it's ganks. Now, ganks are ganking walls, I mean. I hope you understood that. Now, I am level 7 with level 1 vault because obviously when you're going to gank, it's quite early on, until level 11 probably, and so I didn't upgrade. I didn't put myself level 18 to see the range that you have, because on higher levels you have higher range obviously, and so I'll probably just level up if I don't forget later on after I finish with the wall ganks, and so now I want to present some ideas in here. These are creative for everyone. Now, you're basically an artist when playing Taliyah as using your ult. What do I mean here is that I'm talking about bot blue side ganks now with all categories. Now, first we'll need some dummies. So let me just, okay, this is how you spawn, and okay. So I'm going to just put some here and some here. We'll delete them so many times we'll forget about them, and yeah. Now, I want to talk about as many gang paths possible, and I know this is a long intro, I'm so sorry for it, but yeah. Technically, I'm just checking, I think, wait. Technically, you'd want, there are no set ways to gank. These are just tips, a lot of tips here in this video. I tried to put everything I know and every method that I've ganked until now, every single damn wall that I've used. And as I said, it could be, the wall could be like this, the wall could be, I don't know, like this. The wall could be in so many ways. It depends on every single situation. There are no set situations, and except some objective control and towers, which are basic, which are the same, but ganking on a lane, you will always have enemies on different positions, so you'll never have quite the same wall in every other game. That's the beauty of Talia, I can say. She's different in every single game compared to other champions. Now, because you generate terrain basically with this, and it can do a lot. Now, we're also going to talk about words a little, and I'm going to buy first some, because yeah, it's absolutely needed. Let me just right, put some this, and I'll also want some of this, and boots, because we need to move faster. Great. Now, where are we? The first wall. I need to put timestamps for this. I probably forget about them, but I should use them in the comments or somewhere on the screen. I'll see if I remember at the end of the video. Now, the first gank. Let's just jump right into it. You're just happily staying mid lane. You're just pushing the wave like this, and after, yeah, you don't use your spells that often. And after you've done that, you go to the first gank on my list. It's called the bot blue side gank through your jungle. Now this might not be the strongest, and here might be a word, so you might use the plant to go over here, and you just go here and bam, that's the first wall. Or if you want more distance, do this, okay? Or if you want, I don't know, if you notice their jungler somewhere there, just trap them and they use their dash, or okay. Technically, you'd want to know where the words are, and most of the time with this kind of wall, you'll just remove some flashes, because early on some lanes flashes are never removed, but if they don't have any flash and you've trapped them with this method, just kill them in this spot and try not to get to versus 3, because as you say in a war, a trapped army will fight till death. They won't try to run, they will even group, they will synergize their spells, they will do whatever they can to survive and kill. If you leave them a small window of escape, maybe you'll just turn one around and the other one will sacrifice. So yeah, this is the first wall, or 3 types of walls here, so first 3, how you want to say. Now this is from river, I have from base. So you just bought some items and then you just walk around, and you can go here. Let me tell you, this, see how this is a line. The word will usually see this area, and from here you are 100% safe that no one sees you. Now from here you can't really trap someone unless they are here, but you can do it like here, like this, and you're very fast in their range. But it's very important not to go further this line unless you know this is not worth it. Also, you can go, if you know it's not worth it, and or you just say fuck it, you can go like this and just trap them, but they'll probably see you. If it's a final plat or diamond game, they'll go back very fast, so from this point you'll just do this. Now, being like a madman, because if your team does not follow and you go like this, you're most certain to die if they are full HP or have some big cooldowns. Talia is not that strong early on in terms of HP or even damage, but still you can kill if you plan ahead. And yeah, I'm sometimes checking if it's still recording, as I'm scared of a bug. Anyway, if you want to gank from here, it's not that efficient, because as you can see, you will just either not trap anyone or disrupt your team. So I'd say it's better to go in this point. It's way more efficient, I'd say. Now, these are 2 walls on the blue side. You can, I've wrote here that you can come from the enemy jungle, but this is a very rare and specific case when you either go this way and go to this point and bam, right here or right there, depending if the enemy bot lane is here or here. And yeah, this kind of wall is not that spectacular, because when you go this way as a blue side, you're just going to you know, here might be a word, here might be a word, here might be a word. You need to know specifically where the words are. There are lesser chances if you go this way and take this, you're 100% unseen, depending on if the enemy jungler warded that. But very few junglers ward this bush, especially in lower elos. So this way is the safest and most sure to be unseen. But anyway, if you are ballsy and you see there's a fight, or someone teleports, or someone just rush it down river, or there's also a crazy way like here, but kinda long and inefficient unless there's a, you know, plant here. But still, you might go over words and so on. You'd better just try this if you want to go for the more aggressive way. Okay, I want to move closer to their turrets. I'm building here a huge wave. That's not okay. Let me just get rid of that. Okay. I still want to talk about some words. I want to talk about the tower word. I've talked about the tower wolves, not words. I've talked about when they are in this zone, but I didn't talk about when they are under tower. When you want to dive, how do you spawn it? Okay, let's say two of them here, and not this. How do I spawn one for me? Okay, my here, and let's just say you're doing some epic gank, and yeah. The wall you want is somewhere like here, but if they do flash and you feel that, I don't know, the range is too much of the tower and it kills you, too risky. My frame rate dropped so much for no reason. I don't know why this causes makes me lag. That was weird. Anyway, that's the fifth or 10th kind of wall. I don't know how many walls I've already done. Or you could just go from here also, but as I said, vision game is the most important thing. It could be over here, it could be over here, and so fucking on. But yeah, if you want to go for the dive, I don't even ward in this spot usually. I just, you know, I just go, and I failed that. By the way, if you want to practice your W, a nice game that I play is just try to predict where it falls, and you know, and just, you know, you can put 4 targets. I did that once, it was amazing. I'm lagging for some reason. I think I blocked my system. Okay. If the frames don't come back, I'll just... Okay, back we are. So, I'm going to clear the... Yeah, I'm not going to clear the dummies. Actually, just let me do something else. Now, I've talked about the first ganking walls on the blue side. Now I want to talk on the red side. Now imagine I'm on the other team. Yes, I'm on the other side, and there are the same 3 ways of ganking. You can go either from mid. I'm the red team now. I'm the opposing Tlia. So yeah, you can go like right here. But this is a long path and an unsure one. You can take this for a safer and quicker method. And you see, there's a little disadvantage to playing on red side. When you go like this, you're 100% sure to step over a ward or something in the way. Here, you're much more safer on blue side as Talia to gank the bottom lane. Now yeah, the reward might be bigger because the lane is probably much more easier to access, but still you might encounter some problems. Therefore, you have the same 3 methods. You can go through your jungle somewhere, I don't know, here, but this would be not that enjoyable for me. I'd just probably go either directly through river and from here and go here and might do a wall, or just go through a river directly and bam, there you go, another wall here. Or for the ballsiest players, you can just you know, this way, but sometimes this bush is worth it, sometimes this one is worth it, sometimes this one is worth it. Depending on the vision, you'll always have multiple options, and you have to think and see where there might be words. And so, this is how you gank on the red side. And the next thing on the list, I talk about buff controls and invading junglers. Now, let's just say you're on mid lane and your jungler, yeah, you're after level 6 and you have your wall, and somehow your jungler is deep down inside their, I don't know, their jungler, and somehow fights their jungler and kind of wins, but as you are here and the enemy millionaire is here, he will reach faster. Now let's just say they are here and fight around the red buff or something. You can just try to do two things. You can, one, trap the enemy mid laner so he doesn't reach, like this. Let's just say they are fighting, I don't know, somewhere around here. No, I don't know why I put this, ignore this one. So yeah, the thing you wanna do here is just, you know, get here and use Q directly on the opponent. You need to pull off as much damage as you can. Now, one thing I like about these fights and these skirmishes, in higher elo I've played with heal, and whenever I did that, I would instantly heal my teammate and, I don't know, either help him survive and get a kill or just escape. With this kind of wall you can go to help your teammate in jungle, or you can help him escape. Now, or you can help him get the blue buff, but using your wall just for that, kinda hate it because it's a long cooldown which could allow you to gank, but you have a limited set of ultimates in each game, and if you fail most of them or use them randomly for not high advantage, or you know what I'm trying to say, you're going to waste resources you don't necessarily want to. Now, you can also have, the enemy might also invade your jungle, so you can use your wall to do that or to reach faster. And you know, as Atelier you can provide a lot of defense for your jungler, but most of the time it's possible that they will die before you reach. So do not use it if you think or you know that you won't reach it. Like, any jungler that is low HP will instantly die to another one that catches him if he doesn't instantly flash or doesn't have flash or so on. So yeah, you have to think about that. So there are another 2-3 methods to wall to do the, you know. And this goes for both sides. This, if you're here, you can help your jungler either in your jungle or enemy jungler or anywhere on the map. I can't really provide direct examples here because there are infinite possibilities. But yeah, I recommend to use your ult on bot lane most of the time. Not tower like what? Okay. Let me delete the dummies. The third I don't know, lane I want to talk about on ganking is top lane. And now here you have the same possibilities. On the red side, you'd rather go this way. On the blue side, you'd rather go through the river. So there are another two walls, and most of the time, let's say your red side, bam, you've caught someone here, you got the free kill. Let's say you're on blue side, I don't know, bam, you got the kill. This might be a bad example, and I don't have a tower anymore, so fuck me. But yeah, let's just say you're on the blue side and your teammate fights this guy, and you've reached first. You're just all in and you create a disadvantage, and they don't really have time. Anyway, be careful when going on such adventures because their jungler might be just there. They might do some, I don't know, minor things, and they could camp. Usually, this is the lane where the jungler camps. The enemy jungler might be here, here, or here, depending on what. And a surprise and, I don't know, gank. What the fuck is here? Sorry, I'm mismanaging so poor this. I should stop putting dummies if I want towers to be like. So basically, when you go top lane, you can go this way as a blue side, as from the blue side, and just reach this spot and ult. Or you can go, I don't know, this is the safest path actually, or you can even go here if you think, but so you can evade this. But most of the time I don't use my ult on top lane because, as I said, you'd want to use your ult most of the time on bot lane. Giving, I don't know, attention to your top laner is beneficial only if you have a hyper carry bruiser, I don't know, something like Jax, Fiora, Camille, Tryndamere and so on, something that might not do that good on lane and you need to give them a little boost. But having a tank, for example, is just feeding yourself, and you don't really have the carry potential that you want. You want your ADC or jungler or top laner to be fed more than you. That's my main priority. So as any lane you are, any side you are, either blue or red, you can just go and, you know, I'm just going to lose a lot of stars. Whew. Anyway, this is for the ganking part. Now, I see I'm already level 11 without doing much. That's good, that's great. I'm not going to talk about the second, I'm going about objective control. I'm going to talk about teamfights first, and then I'm going to talk about objective control. On teamfights, you have multiple possibilities. Again, you are either blue side or red side, and you have a fight on the middle of the map, on the top lane, on the bot lane. Now, I'm talking about walls, but a main strategy you want to do, it's either separate directly, let me just... For here, imagine there are 5. Okay. Imagine these are the front tanks, the main tank, the off tank, and some, I don't know, you don't stick like this that close, but imagine that. Now, what you want to do here, I have a weird theory that I like to use. Every time you want to separate a teamfight, be it on bot, being on mid, being on top, you want to separate it at a 90-degree angle. Why? Because this is the most useful separation of a team. On any lane, depending on how they stack, you have to use a 90-degree angle. Just, it's a little awkward to do it like this, since, I don't know, it doesn't feel right. It doesn't feel like you trap someone. It feels just like you use it for, I don't know, I might go around crazy here, but I feel that the most useful teamfights, and this works for every tower and for every baron and for every drake, you just try to trap and separate people. Now, this theory could go on every single lane. I've cleared that. I hope minions don't win. Now, you could have a fight here and you use your wall to separate them. You could have a fight here, here, or you can, I don't know. There are multiple ways for teamfights, and again, there are no set in stone examples. But you could, I don't know, understand a little. Most of the time, there will be towers nearby. Now, yes, you'll have the typical mid lane 5 versus 5 where 2 teams meet in order to get some objective and so on, but most of the time you'll be close to a tower, and there is how you get advantage. Taliyah doesn't really shine in teamfights in which she uses her wall to separate the team. But you could get their Janna away from their, I don't know, Vayne or their Ivern from their Kog'Maw hyper carry. I've done that in some games and I've presented it on the channel. But most of the time, here you'd want to separate the team if it's forced teamfight, or just use your ult to reach it, because most of the time you get caught off position and you can use it to, I don't know, be there faster. And so, I'm trying to think right now what could I talk about more in this, but my go-to trick for team fighting is just staying somewhere in a zone that's not worth it for them, so they come, this tower is dead, imagine that, they come here, they come to take this tower, I just, you know, bam, I've got their carry. You'd be surprised how even in Diamond, this thing happens. They misposition, and even in words in the video I've showed you, Faker came here and used his W right on their Orianna. I don't know who the player was, I don't really remember. I think it was in the Misfits game, perhaps. But yeah, I might say something wrong here. And the teamfight section and the objective control section, it's tied together. Usually when you have objectives, when you fight for objectives, you also have a team fight somewhere in between, nearby, so on. The same on ganks, but I define team fight something that requires more than 3 people. And yeah, you have a 2 versus 2, but that's 2 versus 2, not a team fight, or 3 versus 2. Still smaller scale, but I define team fights and objective control in the same way somehow. Let me just do this. Okay. So, in the objective control, we have offensive and defensive. Now, this could mean multiple things. We have, so let's just talk about first the Herald and Baron. Herald and Baron, more for the Baron, less for the Herald. You're going to use your ultimate here a lot in your games, because it can do so much. It can turn around so many games, and it can help you gain so much advantage from this. What do I talk about here? Let's say first on blue side, we are here. We try to do a quick Baron, and let's, for the sake of it, let's just say I'm level 16. How do I turn Fog of War off? I can't do that. I don't see it, I'm blind, honestly. Anyway, let me just level up sometimes anyway. I'm just going toward a bit. And let's just put some whatever enemies. Yeah, okay. Now, let's just say sometime in the late game they don't have vision, and you know that. Or even if they do, they aren't really close to Baron. And against Taliyah, you don't really do that. You don't really go far away from Baron after level 16, even when she's level 11. Look at this, look how the range works, look how big it is. With this wall, what did I do? I've basically forced their jungler, let's pretend this is a jungler, to use his dash over this. Now normally you'd go and take this plant, and their jungler will not have dash or flash. Now if it's a jungler that has no dash, he'll use his flash and have no possibility to ever reach Baron. If he has a dash, he will use it, and it will be on cooldown for a while, and or either has to use his flash to steal it, or to use the plant, but you'll kill the plant. Now, the jungler might come from this point, or be hidden somewhere here. If he's hidden somewhere here, you have to deal with it. You have to go, and you have to kill him. But if he's usually, as it is normal to be on this side, you'll just do this. Not only you'll trap their team, you'll trap their jungler also. Or, if you want to make it even more advanced, this might be the strongest type of wall. And, or, I don't know if he's here, just do it in this way. See? And your team has time to take it. This is the defensive Baron wall. Now, let's say you're on blue side, and the enemy red side, this is the enemy red side. Does Baron, you want to do this. Now this works for both sides. You want to ult so they are stuck in the pit. So they are stuck in the pit, I say it again. You want to do this for Baron, you want to do this for Drake when it's an Elder, and holy shit. And they don't have time to, you know, spawn an enemy dummy. Wait a second. Can I just... okay. So, what you want to... there are multiple walls here also. You have the defensive wall, when you're either side, and you... let's just say you're red side now, and you do this. Or their jungler, you don't know exactly where he comes from. But you can stay here and do this, and then just hit it over the wall and take it. wherever you think or you see him on the map, you kind of are able to predict where he comes from. You just put some words, some deep words if it's needed. And this can go multiple ways. This can go in a way in which there's all members alive and you have time to take it if you wall. Good. There could be a way when you just killed the enemy team somewhere here, but you don't really have time to take this before they arrive, and you just wall so they have struggled to reach it, or you can just surprise them. And this can go again offensive and defensive. Defensive is like this for one side, for the red side, and like this for the blue side. And this goes for the Baron. Let me just check it's okay. The same rule applies for Herald. Now, you can go here. Yes, for Herald. I said it. Now, differently speaking, Drake, Elder Drake, it's the same thing as Baron, but reversed. Okay? Because the Drake is on this side, basically you'll do the same most of the things. You can just trap them in the whether direction you think they are coming on the blue side, or whether direction they think they are coming on the red side. Take this and put some words and try to, you know, stop them. It's exactly the same as this map. It's symmetrical, and you have to plan it, and you can trap them in the pit if you want. But on Elder Drake, it's not that efficient because Elder Drake deals way less damage than Baron, and it's not that threatening, so you'd either try something else. There was the example where Crown trapped enemy Orianna here, and his team and 4 enemy members, they were here, and she couldn't reach. You can do gimmicks like that, and you can... Holy shit. Sorry for these little things. Yeah, this not going to die ever. That is good though. Anyway. Yeah, that's about Elder Drake and Baron. Now on the simple drakes, you have to be very, very careful with your ult, because most of the time this zone is not worth it when they are taking Drake and so on, or most of the time they have aced your team or your bot, and if they haste your bot and you do have your jungler, you can go try and do some gimmicks here, as I said. But I usually don't use my ultimate on Drakes that are not Elder. You can just trap if it's Infernal. Yeah, Infernals are good. Infernals are better than the other Drake. For that, you could just use your ult and try to do the same maneuver you've seen here. Okay, moving on. If I move that, the game is over. Okay, so I'm not. Moving on. About objective control, we have the towers section. Now, we have multiple towers. We have the examples that I've presented in the Worlds video. We have towers for the red side, blue side, and so on. Now, let's move. We are blue side right now. A good example is to try to do it like this or like this, depending on where the enemy team is. Now, a good method to take the tower is this. See, they don't really reach the range for the tower. If they are all here stacked, you put them in a weird position and they will struggle for a bit. And let me just spawn another dummy somewhere here, so this guy's good. Okay. Yeah, this is one wall. The second wall is here, like this. Okay. The third wall is like this, from somewhere here to here. And this is for the red side, for the blue side. For the red side, it's symmetrical. As you've seen in that video, he used the wall from here. I don't really remember who it was. So yeah, you can use it from here. You can also use it the same way as opposed to that from here. And so on from here. I hope it's not boring and educative. So honestly, I'm repeating myself so much from here. Probably it's annoying. So yeah, this is the third type. Now, these are the offensive types for the base turrets. You can also do for these towers. Let's say I'm a red side. See? You can trap them here and get a kill, or on the blue side the same way. You can trap them here and get a kill, or you can push them away. You can make them not reach the tower and get a kill, or get an objective. You cannot get the kill if you... Okay, you got it. The same goes for this. Here. Holy shit. The same goes for this tower. For the middle tower, I've honestly never used a wall like this because it's a bit annoying and they might, you know, come from other ways, but it could work here too. This is the offensive type. The defensive type of wall is again the one that Faker used, for example, here. I'm blue side and the enemy team is invading, and he trapped here 4 members while one of them was top, but he didn't get the kill because his team didn't have the engage power and they stack up well. You can also do a defensive ward somewhere from here and do a defensive wall like right here, and so you can, but be careful when you jump. Be careful when you jump. Normally, if they do get fights for your tower and so they are a bit ahead, meaning you must be extremely careful if you separate their team, and how you separate it, you should try to do that, but you must be extremely careful when you jump because you might get one-shotted. It means you're not extremely fed probably, or your team doesn't really have the advantage, but you need to position somehow so that they get... I need more damage. I need more damage. Okay. Okay, I suppose they won't reach now. So yeah, let me just... Okay, this is good, this is good, good. Next. Moving next. Let me just check the... I've talked about defensive, I've talked about offensive. Most of the time, you'll win the game when you are on the offensive walls, and most of the time you'll lose the game when you're on the defensive wall. Why? Because Taliyah shines in the early game to mid game, and if you get to late game and they are ahead, it's going to be much more harder to do that. And I think I'm about to lose the game. To win the game. Let me just take a quick break from... Can I freeze some? I just killed all minions, didn't I? Oh, it took me so long to do that. Anyway. For example, on a defensive ult, I was here. I was playing Taliyah top lane. Don't ask me why. And I've had an Orianna mid. They were going for the tower, and I've just did that. Somehow, 2 of them got caught here, and my Orianna ulted them, and they died. They were going either for inhibitor or tower. I know. I've separated them, and I've got the kill. And somehow we turned that game around, as I remember. But yeah, you have to consider all your options. You have to consider everything. My voice. Moving on. Next thing on the list. I want to go to other types of wall now. Let's just say you're here, or I don't know, here you're going to a gank, and you spot their generic jungler, I don't know, Trundle or whatever, Rammus. Let's just say you see Rammus right on this spot, and you just bumped into, like, you know. What you want to do in this point is push him away, and if this fails, you want to just bam, just goodbye. Or he's on top of you and you can just do this. Most of the time you'll just push him away and you can escape. Be careful though, you might use your wall a bit wrong, and in a bad scenario you could do it like this, and I don't know if it pushes him. Yes, it pushes him, but sometimes you might fail and he might move a little and it won't work. This is the melee range escape. The wall usually helps you to not die. That's the point of it. Now let's just say the second type of wall, you have two teammates that run, and you do just this. You don't fight the enemy team because they're all fives here, let's say, and your two teammates that are here escape. For example, this. And they use an abilities or something to catch your team, and you have to think about it how you can save your team, and just use like this because they will be around here on the time of your arrival and they won't really reach it. This is another type of wall. And a thing that I usually do, let's just say my team rushes Baron, but there are just two members and not enough DPS, and their team is just spawning, or I don't know. I use my wall to reach the zone. Another way to use your wall is to reach faster destination by going in that direction. Now, obviously, this is not the best use of it, and you can just, do this and trap the enemy team, but if you think you have time, you can just travel with it faster, or when some objective happens and so on. What can I talk more about? Let me just check mentally through all the list. One thing I didn't talk about, I think, is the wall that catches someone. The wall that you use because you've seen someone farming here now and the rest of the team is around here now. When you know you can solo that person, just go for it. Just catch him and kill him. This alone will provide enough advantage for another objective and another set of gold for you. Or just trap him and go on the other side, pretending that there's no one here, wherever that is, and wait for your team to move on him, if there is a team to move on him. Usually, if you are a bit fed or doing well, you should be able to one-shot people or to kill them early, mid, or mid to late. Normally, you have to farm a lot to get to that level, even if you don't have a lot of kills. Normally, you'd have to farm. So yeah, the best tip on Talia probably is farm. And my eyes hurt. Oh my god, too much screen today. What more? I don't know if there is a single thing I forgot to talk about. If there is, I promise I will make another video. I really want to make another tutorial for Talia. And yeah, I don't think I will number the walls, but I will put timestamps at the beginning of the video and in the comments. I think I've reached every point on this list in the 40 minutes of which I've blabbered and 20 minutes of actual talk. And I look over the list, but I don't see any other. There are about 40, 50. I've said 50 walls because I have a lot of points here on the list, and if I count it, it's about 45, but with multiple examples for each line, you get to double that number. Yeah, so yeah, basically you'd have infinite amounts of walls because you could just ult, as I said at the beginning, anywhere. So yeah, I can't provide every possible example, but I can give you tips on most examples. What is that I didn't talk about right now, I can't really think of, but this is, I think, all the guide I could provide for you. All the methods, all the words and all the tips that you could use to learn how to do this better. Now, on LOLKing, I have a guide in which I've provided some maps. On my other guides, I've provided again these maps, which are some paths that you can follow to reach a destination and points where you can ult from to trap the enemy team or to catch someone and kill someone. These alone are a bit outdated, so yeah, I've decided to make this video and to just show you the paths and some general tips. Now, if you stood here all the 40 minutes, congratulations, I hope you learned something from this. It's just on the top of my head what I know and through my experience of I don't know how many games. Probably 500,000 mastery points by now, but still, I hope it worked and it just gave enough tips for you and ideas for you to practice. You can follow the timestamps I will put. I hope I don't forget to put this. And you can just watch the section you need. And I really don't know if there's anything left that I forgot to talk about. So yeah, this is the 50 or more Leah Walls guide, and I'm Drumat, and I really want to say thanks for staying with me and thanks for watching. I hope I didn't drag out this video for too long. I tried to reach every point that I wanted on this list. Let me just, can I, here, see? Wait. It's in reverse, I'm pretty sure. Or I don't know. But yeah. That's it, guys. Thanks so much for watching and have a nice day or night or whatever. And good luck your next game and try some of these tips, please, if you really watch this through. And yeah, I really hope it will work for you. Good luck and goodbye, guys, and thanks for watching again.